Welcome back, Sideways fam. I'm back again today with another video, and I got a really cool thing I'm doing right now. I actually found a guy online right now that is selling a 2003, 2004 Gs300 online right now. I've been looking for one black on black for a while now, and I think I might have found the right car. The guy has a car up right now, I believe, for 1,900 bucks. And I'm gonna be heading out right now to LA, in the hood of LA, to go get this second gen Aristo, second gen GS300. This is my first gen. We'll get a video about this at some point. It is swapped, 1JZ VVTi, manual swap. It's been a huge, long project of mine, and this car just kind of stays in the shop. It's one of my builds I've wanted for a long time when I was younger, so I went ahead and built it for myself, but this car's pretty much finished. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it right now and go pick up the car with Sage right now, go cruise out there. Hopefully we can get the car. I'm trying to get it for 1,200 bucks, 1,000 bucks max. So pretty much, I don't know. Let's just see how it goes. We're gonna go ahead and head over there. And if we can get it done. There'll be a new project coming for you guys if we can't get it for cheap, so stay tuned. Look at this freaking sunset, dude. This is just freaking beautiful. Oh my God. How I hate driving to LA, but hey dude, you know, when it looks like this, I hardly ever get to see stuff like this, so that is just super dope. So I don't know where the hell in LA of deep of butthole of place we're going right now, but I feel very out of place and do not like where we are. It does not look like a happy place. All right guys, so video quality is probably gonna be pretty bad, but we are here with the car right now. It's a little bit rougher than what I wanted it to be, but all in all, the car runs and drives, and tranny seems to shift. Seems like it's got some bad engine mounts. It does whine and make some noise for some of the stuff. I mean, maybe the trans isn't gonna last forever, but I mean, if we were gonna keep this thing to either part it out or build it, we're probably not gonna use the factory transmission anyways, so don't really care. But there is a decent sized dent in the quarter panel. That kind of sucks. There's a dent in the fender. That kind of sucks too, but then again too, I know how to do body work, not really that big of a deal. Interior is spot on. Engine wise, not a drop of oil leaking, and it's been completely maintained. They're actually the original owners of the vehicle, so I pitched him 1,000 bucks. I'm not really planning on lifting from that, so I didn't want to be too rude because the guy's actually very nice. I would have shot him like an offer of 800 bucks if he was kind of a brick, but the guy seems pretty nice, and I mean, not a bad deal for what it is. If you can get it for 1,000 bucks, guys, you know, there might be a pretty cool horsepower GS300 coming your way pretty soon here. So I showed him the Instagram, some of the YouTube videos and stuff too, just to kind of show him that it's like some legit shop and not some BS takeover kid coming to buy the car. So I guess we'll see if we can get it to the shop. We can get you a little overview and some little shots of the car when we're done, but it does run and drive, and yeah, I mean, hopefully he goes for it because I'm down. All right guys, so bag has been secured, car is here. I guess real quickly I can kind of show you guys what's up since we're actually outside now and we can see everything. So black on black, 2003 GS300. Had an issue with title paperwork, so we had to do some kind of weird bill of sale paperwork crap for the car, but once again, not really sure what the end goal was gonna be with the car to begin with because it's not perfect. So I'll kind of give you guys a little walk around in the other forward-facing view so you can see what's up, but all in all, be a pretty cool beater, guys. Maybe a little smash and bash drift car, who knows, you know what I mean? Let's just see what happens, I guess. guys, so now that we're back at the shop and the car's parked inside, we can go ahead and look over everything and see all that we're gonna go ahead and do. So the cool thing about this is this is gonna be a new project that I'm gonna be building. I may even make this car be my Supers in Vegas car I take this year. I've always wanted to build one of these cars just for the fact that like I've liked them for a long time, and because they've become so popular, I kind of got a little turned off by it. All the people that are here watching my YouTube channel, and it seems like everyone's interest in the Gs300, Gs300 community and how the cars are pretty much the same. I'm gonna choose the GS. It's a little bit bigger car. I've already owned a Gs300 years and years and years ago. That was a sports design 5-speed manual car that you're probably will never even end up seeing anything about that ever, because it was like 7 years ago and I bought it off a dealership lot. But as far as this car is going to go, I'm gonna go ahead and put together a series of videos that's going to be able to do this budget build NAT setup that you guys want to see with an automatic transmission. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of doing it this way, only because of the fact that you're never going to have like the Supra kind of stuff or like the Mark III kind of stuff where you're going to have that like super crazy full race car, like full power kind of thing. I mean, on the GE engine, like I've told you before, you're only going to be limited to about 400 horsepower that you can make like reliably as a street car. So maybe 300 and something horsepower on pump gas, maybe 400 something horsepower on low 400s on E85. And to some people that seems to be not a super intriguing thing, like, oh, 400 horsepower is not that fast. But the thing is if you can use the car, you can have AC, you can slide the car around, you can do donuts, you can drift the car, you can race the car, you can drag the car, you can everything. There's pretty much nothing faster shifting than an automatic transmission. So I have done my research. I have known about a lot of these modifications that I'm gonna be doing for you guys in this video to my GS300 we have right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera right now that we're inside and we got better lighting inside. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the car. This is going to be my new project for you guys, and the cheapest option and solution to doing this the proper way for the bang for your buck. So, I mean, I've talked to people in the Gs300 community, I've talked to people in the GS300 community about sponsoring them and trying to build a setup like this in their car, but nobody seems to want to go and put the money forward, even with me extending my hand to help. So I'm just going to do it myself. Money's not a problem to build the car. I have the knowledge. Let's go ahead and do it, guys. So let me go ahead and flip the camera. I'm going to show you everything of the car a little bit closer since it was dark when we saw it, and we'll kind of get right into it. So first of all, I want to show you how immaculate this car is inside. There's not even a tear really in the seat. That's about to go, but it is not torn. I mean, even on the interior, it is just flawless. Got the nice plush comfy seats for the newer year. My car is a 2003, 2004, so I do have the later year. And in the rear, it is just as clean as it is in the front. Have navigation in this thing, a bunch of other really cool things. So let me go ahead and pop the hood real quick. Let's get that popped. And what I do love about this thing is you got the other taillights with the amber at the bottom versus like the older style on the little JDM wing that they come with. I was going to talk about going manual in this car, but I mean, to keep it cheap, I mean, my Aristo, my first gen that you guys haven't seen very much about, I mean, is manual, and I've been through a lot. I mean, here's the damage to the body. But you guys, for $1,000, I mean, running and driving, yeah, it's been side swiped. We'll take care of the body work later. And yeah, there's a big old dent right here that we'll use a dent puller and pull it out with. But besides that, she's pretty straight. But the real sales point of this car that was right here was this. Yes, it's stock. Yeah, it's nothing crazy special. But I just want to show you guys this. So this car was purchased from the original owner. And if you can believe, and like, I guess it was his wife's car, they were handicapped, and they kept the car in pretty tip-top shape. And they bought it off a dealership lot. So, I mean, obviously, original owner, they had to have done that. But if you look at everything, yes, it's super dusty, but there's not a drop of oil on anything. That is a great sign, you guys. That means that everything is going to be fine with this thing. So we did drive it back. The automatic transmission seems like it's damaged. So if anybody knows anybody locally or anybody has anybody locally that has one of these automatic transmissions for me, I do need one of these. I'm going to go ahead and do the stage 2 little do-it-yourself build for this thing, where you go ahead and you shim the valve body, you pull it out, you go ahead and do all that. And then you up the line pressure, which they say should hold about 600 horsepower. I won't even be doing close to that. We're gonna do probably 400. If I can get BC to jump in and give me a sponsorship on the cams, I'll go ahead and put cams in it. But even just to get it done, I'm probably gonna do the over-the-top manifold only because then I can keep the factory Lexus top cover on it and make it look like super stock. I am gonna make a plug and play adapter for the cheapest computer I can find. So I'm not a big ECU Masters person, guys. I don't really like the product. I had a really big problem with this car, which is my other Mark IV, of blowing my engine up and all kinds of problems with customer service and just people being very rude to me from that company. But I'm gonna go ahead and try it again for the fact that EMU Black just came out with a jumper to do a plug and play system with automatic as a piggyback, where you retain the factory ECU in the box in here, and the jumper goes into the car right there, like you've seen in Q's IS300. And I will run over there real quick just to show you guys what is also going on over there, so that you can kind of understand what's going to be happening. So GS and IS are very similar. This is the 01, so it does have a different connector status than how mine's going to be, but this is basically what I'm going to be making, but much cleaner and much nicer, because this is obviously a boom slang. They called it at Doctronics or DZOD or something like that of that course. So anyways, what happens is you take your factory ECU and then you jump it into your plug and play adapter that you'll be using, which is basically right here. And then your OEM connectors will always come onto these two sides of the ECU over here. So pretty much everything's gonna be retained. Basically, I'm just gonna be unplugging it from here, plugging in my jumper from here to the ECU, and then we're gonna run a harness all the way up and in, and I guess under the dash on the driver's side. So hopefully we have enough slack and enough room. I'm gonna be integrating into my car. I'm gonna be doing a little bit different. So I'm gonna go ahead, unlike the EMU Black, I'm gonna have my own kit. And on this kit, it's going to basically have dual and single fuel pump control if you want to run twin pumps or single pump. In my case, I'm not going for a lot of power. I'm going to put an AEM 340 in it, drop it into the original tank, put, you know, a return line, put a fuel pressure regulator somewhere over here, in here. Luckily on these ones, there's no brake booster. They are electronic brakes, so we don't need to worry about pretty much any kind of room with any of that stuff or having it be too messy. So that's going to be super awesome. Even on the ABS side of it, if you look, we don't have any weird ABS control module that's blocking anything or putting anything in a weird area. So it's kind of cool because unlike the IS300, you have the bigger body, you have more comfortable seats, you have a little bit bigger car, and you have all this less stuff that we would typically be deleting anyways. So we don't even need to deal with the brakes. We don't need to worry about the brakes. We don't need to go ahead and do anything to any of that like we had to do in Q's IS300 or any of the other high horsepower IS300 builds. I've talked to Robert DeAngelo from Real Street Performance. Apparently he has somewhere around the area of a 750 horsepower automatic GS300, and he's kind of told me how he had his stuff set up at Powerhouse Racing. So I'm gonna build my own, and we are gonna build it better. And when I mean better, I don't mean I'm challenging anybody to, you know, go and tell them that you know, I think I'm better. No. I'm going to build it better for your buck, for what you actually end up buying. So what's going to happen is we're going to have fuel pump control. We're going to have fuel pressure monitoring. We're going to have CAN display. We're going to have Bluetooth display. We're going to have all this other stuff. And I'm actually going to be doing this on the EMU Classic. So unlike being able to buy the Black Edition, and they don't offer it in the Classic Edition, I have two old Classics I've been sitting on for the last probably 2-3 years, maybe even 4 years. I don't even remember how long it's been, but I have the first runs of the EMU Classic. I believe when we first talked to ECU Masters, when we got hooked up with them on getting it for the car, they hooked us up for about $675. Now, they're not that cheap anymore. So let me show you real quick what the older units used to look like. Just so that you can kind of see. So this was the old EMU Classic. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is the non-Black Edition. Okay, so we have two of these here that we picked up for that $675, $770, probably $675. I think is what we ended up picking them up for. So I'm going to try it again for you guys. As much as I might end up be screwing myself and making this be a really bad thing for me to do, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And what I'm going to also do for you guys as well, which is kind of out of the box as well, but it was going to help you guys, is I'm going to also put a wideband on the car with my Innovate. I'm going to go ahead and put the turbo kit on the car. And then basically what's going to happen is I'm going to just go ahead and drive the turbo kit out of the shop. Before we do any tuning, any modification, anything, I'm going to prove to you guys that it is or isn't possible and show you guys the pros and cons to what we're going to be doing. So, hey,
Maybe the car will drive absolutely flawless with just a turbo kit bolted in, and then I can tell people, hey, I did it. I'm not going to recommend it because it's not tunable, but when I did it on my car with checking the wideband and checking the numbers, it was okay to drive as a street car and not beat the living shit out of it, just to enjoy and play around. So I will be keeping a monitor probably just in the downpipe and keeping my wideband monitor in the car so I can just monitor it while I'm driving just to see how bad it is. I mean, on a stock injector, on a regulated fuel pump, we shouldn't really get very good numbers. I mean, when I modify it to run a fuel pressure regulator and put the other injectors in, it should be extremely rich. At that point, I'm not even going to go with it. But I'm going to show you guys what it is to be stock with a turbo kit just bolted on and how it'll probably blow the engine up. I'm not going to do more than 1 or 2 pulls in it because I'm not willing to destroy my car just for no reason at all. And I actually like this car, so I want to make it pretty nice for Vegas this year. If I can't get my Mark II done, which we'll talk about more later, and a couple of the other cars that I have planned. But this would be a pretty easy plan to me. I'm budgeting around doing it myself. I'm budgeting around, with tuning, being able to get it done for somewhere around, let's say 8-9 grand. Okay, and that's me being very lenient about it because I'm going to put a comp turbo on it. I'm going to go ahead and get the CX Racing peak boost manifold for the GS300 that moves the turbo closer to the front instead of running the SS power setup. And I will try my manifold and my setup that I typically run in this one as well. And if it does fit, maybe I'll just go ahead and run mine and not spend all the money that they're going to charge me to buy that kit for this car. But we'll see how it fits. We'll get into it. We'll get it all done. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just pick up, pull the header off, get everything going, get the turbo kit bolted on, figure out what we're going to do about intercooler piping and everything else and getting all that done. And then I guess we'll just figure out what we're going to do next. If I don't have time, based on how busy I am, I guess I'll let you guys know in the next video that, hey, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go ahead and do this OEM NAT thing. I don't know what I'm going to have time for. I'm very, very busy lately, and we just have cars, ridiculous amount of cars. There's even more outside right now that are here getting worked on. Everyone wants to get in here for Supers in Vegas, but let's see what we can get time for, guys. So this is a new project. I hope you guys like it. Until next time, guys, if you guys have any questions about what you think I should do or would like me to do or like me to make a video about with this car, hit me up. I'm going to try to get a lot of sponsors on this stuff, to get a lot of stuff just given and shot through, and just get the car kind of all together because this is going to be really, really cool, guys. So stay tuned. Until next time, guys, peace.